Good morning, everyone. How's everyone today? Welcome to the PreStream podcast. I'm Darkside Phil. Today is Thursday, the 19th of May, 2022. And I'm in a good mood today. I think today's going to be a good day in general. I really do. I feel like today's going to be a chill and fun day here on the first stream. We're going to have a nice wrapping up playthrough on the late stream. We're going to have a lot of fun interactivity during the streams. And we got a lot to talk about on today's PreStream podcast, so welcome to everyone, and I hope that you're all doing well today, okay? Just to give you a quick preview of what we're going to cover on today's PreStream podcast, we got a lot. First of all, I want to talk about, obviously getting gifted memberships yesterday, how this has affected the channel, and what we learned in the last 24 hours about how they work, because we actually learned a ton just from having it enabled. Because like most things on YouTube, when something gets turned on YouTube, no one has any idea how it works. YouTube doesn't really outline it properly or explain the process. It's all us on the fly having to learn for ourselves because they really are not transparent with stuff. I don't know why over the years they've done such a poor job of trying to disseminate information to the users, but they definitely do a very poor job. Okay? So, I want to talk about that, obviously, because it's a huge positive for the channel, right? Now, as a direct result of that, we can talk about the membership goal reward that's going to happen as a result of hitting the members goal for the month, and some options and things, and there's actually some updates I have on that I'd like to talk about today, so we'll do that. In addition, this coming weekend, we've got not one, but two new playthroughs that are going to start up on my late night chill streams, and the question is, what are they going to be? And the answer I have for you is, well, I know one of them, but I don't know the other. And that's what we need to talk about today. We got to talk today about what you guys want to see coming up in the near future. Okay? So we're going to do that. Did I have a coffee this morning? I already had one, Greg. I always have a coffee in the morning. It's one of the first things I do. I get up, I usually wash up a little bit, use the restroom, go downstairs, make sure Jasper's food and water is full. He gets a treat in the morning, but usually Kat gives him his treat. And then I have a coffee with something to eat. I had a big old cream cheese today with a black coffee. So there you go. Excuse me. So, we got all that to talk about. All right? Plus, we'll talk about the existing schedule for the week, and a little bit about the future with game accessibility and the like. I actually have a really positive update in regards to some game accessibility stuff. Those of you, well, I guess some of you may not know this, but I am a champion for game accessibility. I'm of the impression and the belief that everyone has a right to enjoy video games, and there should be major accessibility features in pretty much every major AAA release. I think Last of Us 2 was groundbreaking in that regard, and one of the major positives of that game, despite all its controversy, was that it really championed accessibility, and I wish that we had seen more of that with AAA releases over the last couple of years, but we actually have a positive update in regards to that, okay? So, we got a good amount of good stuff to talk about today here on the PreStream podcast, all right? Where should we start? Seriously. Maybe I guess we'll start with the gifted membership stuff. Talk about that first. And then we'll get to the schedule, which will lead into the new game playthroughs this weekend and stuff. I guess is how we can approach it. So first of all, if you weren't around yesterday, you may be watching this podcast right now and be like, there's something a little different about it. I'm not sure exactly what it is. Yesterday, I realized something. Something I wish I had realized 6 months ago when I started the PreStream podcast. My digital camera was zoomed in. Oops. Now, when I say zoomed in, I don't mean optical zoom where the lens was moving. This is a standard digital camera from Logitech that's over a decade old. It was digital zoom. Digital zoom is terrible. All digital zoom does is crops the image and zooms in, making your image blurry. So I didn't even realize this was in effect. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, you're kidding me. All I had to do was zoom out, and now the picture looks better. Yeah, now the camera looks better. It's certainly not amazing or anything, but it's better than it was. It definitely looks way more clear. I can look right now, I'm looking over, and it looks more clear on my setup. And it would have been looking like this for 6 months if I was smart, but that says a lot about me, doesn't it? Damn, I feel stupid, but at least I figured it out. I was like, oh, shit. So now there's no more stupid digital zoom on the camera, and it looks a little better. However, there was another change that we implemented yesterday that did not work out so well. there is a feature on Logitech webcams, at least this model of webcam from 10 years ago, that was called Right Light. Okay? Now, apparently what this does, and I'm going to turn it on now, and we're going to see if it actually looks any different. Apparently what this feature is in different lighting settings. I'm going to click it right now. Get ready. Didn't work. Click it right now. There we go. And I hit save. Apparently, oh my God, look at that. I don't know what's up with this. It's a feature that's supposed to basically look how choppy I am right now. Look at that. It's supposed to be a feature that in different lighting settings, I look like I'm a slideshow. It's supposed to auto adjust your lighting. And we tested this yesterday on the pre-stream, and it wasn't doing what it's doing right now. It was still it was full 30 frames, but it was doing this auto adjustment, and it was cool because the sun wasn't coming in and out of the clouds, and it was actually, it was doing it right. It was auto adjusting the lighting, so I was looking good all along. But wait a minute. Now it's like, see, it's weird. Sometimes it drops the frame, sometimes it doesn't. Now it seems okay. I'm going to turn it off. Because the thing is, yesterday we were playing games, and all of a sudden people were like, Phil, you look so choppy. What is going on? There we go. See, now we're back to normal. And I was like, I don't know. And I looked, I was like, well, the only thing I changed is I zoomed out. That's not going to do it. But we got this right light feature. So let's see. And I turned it off, and it went back to 30 frames per second, which is what we're at right now again. So I don't actually know what that feature is supposed to be. But when you're sacrificing like 10 to 20 frames per second for it, it ain't worth it. All right? So it looked nice, but it ain't worth it. Unless I'm taking a still frame picture, I'm not going to be using that right light feature. We'll turn that off. But the good news is the camera does look slightly better. And until I'm able to possibly upgrade my setup later this year, at least now it looks a little better, right? Everything's looking a little good. Okay. Good stuff. All right, let's talk about gifted memberships, because ladies and gentlemen, it was yesterday at this exact same time that we discovered that I had been granted the ability to have gifted memberships here on DSPGaming. Now, at the time, no one knew how it worked because YouTube doesn't send any information. They didn't contact me. They didn't tell me I had them. It was actually Parasolo who discovered that we had gifted memberships. So immediately people start clicking around and trying to figure it out, and it's incredibly confusing. Everyone's confused like how this works or whatever, because it's different for everyone. Yes, I'm not kidding. Gifted memberships work differently for different people, inexplicably. Okay? First of all, how do they work? Well, you need to be a member to gift a membership. If you're not already a member of my channel, you cannot gift a membership to my channel. So immediately this is different from Twitch, because I remember people used to actually make like burner accounts on Twitch. They would want to come and gift a bunch of memberships, but they didn't want people to know it was them. So they would make like a dummy account, come in, drop a bunch of memberships, leave, and never come back. You can't do that here on YouTube unless that was absolutely disgusting. I apologize, everyone, but I'm glad that I did it backwards. So anyway, unless you make an entire new account from the ground up. Because from what I'm to understand, if you have multiple YouTube accounts, even then you can only gift memberships on one account. You have to have like one major account that you use for everything. I don't know. It's just really weird. Okay? So, you need to be a member to gift a membership. So that means there's no anonymous gifting. Because some people are like, oh, well, you could do an anonymous sub bomb on Twitch. Nope, you can't do that here. It's going to be known you're the one who gifted a bunch of memberships to the channel. Okay? And there's not much you can do about that. Now, the weird thing about this is it seems to be different for everyone. So how do you gift a membership or even see how to do it? Well, right now, if you're live on stream, you probably have an option to do a super chat or a super sticker, right? A way to contribute to the stream. There should be a third option there that says membership gifting. Now, the weird thing about that is when you click on that, everyone is seeing something different. Some people see, oh, gift a single membership, gift 5, gift 10, gift 20, and the appropriate pricing sits over there. In fact, Europe Gaming, thank you. You just gifted a membership, and it was Raccoon Man who just got that membership. So congratulations to Raccoon Man, and thank you, Europe Gaming, for the support. But Europe Gaming, I don't know if you're aware of this, because this is the point we're making. Very apropos, you just did that. Some people don't have the one membership gift. They can only gift in groups of 5, 10, or 20. And people were trying to figure this out. Apparently, it has something to do with the payment options you have linked to your YouTube or Google account. I don't understand how in the holy heck that works. That doesn't seem to make any sense to me at all. But yeah, people were saying some people can gift one and some can't. Oh, by the way, 672 just gifted a membership, and it was Stinkin' Burrows who got that membership. So congratulations, Stinkin' Burrows. And now 672, thank you. And he says, yesterday I couldn't gift one membership, and now I can. Roadblock says the same thing. You see? In 24 hours of me having gifted memberships, everything's changing already. Didn't I just say this? I literally said when YouTube rolls something new out, it always rolls out wrong, and then they end up fixing it after the fact, but you never know. So maybe now people can actually just gift one membership. Yes, 672 just gifted another single membership. There you go. And Chips Ahoy just received that membership, so congratulations to Chips Ahoy, and again, thank you, 672. Wow. B. Stevens just gifted a membership. Thank you. Now, Big Papa Phil says, well, I cannot just gift one membership. It doesn't make any sense. It really makes no effing sense, man. Thank you for that, B. Stevens. And Rabbit Couch just received that gifted membership. Congratulations to Rabbit Couch. Okay. So anyway, that's how you gift them. You go to the same section where it would be Super Chat, Super Sticker, and it should be there. Now, if you're on mobile, it doesn't work at all. Just to forewarn you, if you're on any mobile version of YouTube, whether it be your YouTube app on here or YouTube app on your television, or if you're on the mobile version of YouTube on a website, it doesn't work. It only works right now on the full version of the site. All right? Now, if you're someone who's watching my streams and you're hoping to get a gifted membership, you have to listen up right now because there's something very important you need to know. Unlike on Twitch, you can't just get a gifted membership on YouTube. What you need to do is say you want it. How do you do that? Well, when someone is gifting a membership, you should see a pop-up on your screen that says, hey, someone is gifting a membership. Click here to enable your ability to accept it. You have to click that. If you don't, you cannot get a gifted membership. Why? Because YouTube, I guess, is trying to prevent people just getting memberships that are not going to be used. I don't understand the liability of that, but to give you some perspective, over on Twitch, I would be gifted memberships all the time. Of course, over there, they're called subs. And I'd be like, what? And you would look, and I'd be like, why do I have access to all these emotes? Oh, because I got gifted a membership to this streamer and that streamer and this streamer I never heard of. So you could actually get gifted subscriptions on Twitch behind the scenes and not even know you have them. Now, there is a way to disable that on Twitch as well. Apparently, by default, that's disabled on YouTube, and you have to manually enable it. All right? So, yeah, if you're interested in getting a gifted membership to the channel, you have to keep your eyes peeled for a time when someone is gifting one. And you should have an option on your screen that pops up that says, click here to enable. And then the next time someone is gifting a membership, you'll have the ability to accept it if you're quick enough. You have to be quick enough because if you're not, you won't get it. So essentially, no exaggeration, gifted memberships are a competition. People are in competition to get them. And it's first come, first serve. Whoever's quick enough to click gets it. It's pretty wild, isn't it? Yeah, it is weird and wild. It has nothing. It's nothing like Twitch. It's very different. Okay. Also, the gifted memberships are only tier 1 level. There is no ability to gift a membership at a higher level. On Twitch, that's not the case. You could gift subs of the highest tier. You can't do that here on YouTube. You can only do a tier 1 as of now. Okay. So, this is interesting. I don't know how this is going to work or if it's going to change. I just have no clue. But here's what I can tell you. Within 24 hours of having this enabled, I just got 5 new memberships, all right? So, ladies and gentlemen, it is absolutely official as of right now, this very moment, as we're talking about it. DSPGaming got 100 new members in the last 24 hours. Good morning, Jay. Good to see you. So that means we're at a record high, 489, and climbing. We've never had this many members before. And as I told you guys, this is a huge, huge source of support for the channel. Now, do I fully expect that come next month, I'm still going to keep this many members? No, I do not. But here's the deal. Here's the deal when it comes to memberships and how it works. It's going to work the same as it did with subs on Twitch. I know it. For every 10 gifted memberships that I'm going to get here, there'll be one person who will really enjoy this membership over the course of the next month and say, you know what, I really like that, and I'm gonna renew it from now on. I enjoyed having the emotes. I enjoyed having the chat crown badge and the highlighted name. I liked I didn't have to abide by the slow mode rules of the chat. I just like all the cool features you get as a member, and I want to keep supporting Phil, so I'm going to keep that. Okay? Right? And that's the thing. That always happened on Twitch. Even though some people said, oh, you see, this isn't real organic growth of your channel. I'd be like, fair enough, you're right. Gifted subs and gifted memberships are not organic growth. But it becomes organic growth because essentially what's happening is people are getting a free trial, right? When you try something for free and you're enjoying it and you want to keep it, right? You know, okay, even if it's 1 out of 10, 1 out of 20, it's still 1, you see? Now, the other cool thing is because we got so many new members in the last 24 hours, we already unlocked 2 new emote slots, which means the DSP dab is unlocked. Both halves of it, the left and right half. That's cool, because we were talking for a long time about unlocking that emote, and we got it, boom, immediately, which is really cool. Now, if we hit 500 members, we immediately unlock another emote slot. And I can tell you, I think we already figured it out. Wasn't it the DSP 420 that we were going to do? The Rasta DSP? Yeah, that was it. So if we hit 500 members, I'm going to unlock the Rasta DSP emote immediately so that we have it. Why immediately? Because we found out a few weeks ago that on YouTube, if you don't put an emote into that emote slot right away, if you dip below that level of qualification again, so let's say I get 502 members, but then it sinks to 498, you lose the slot. You have to have an emote in that slot to keep the slot. So, yes, we're going to be doing the Rasta DSP for everyone. And that's cool because when people tip $4.20, I'm sure everyone's going to be using that emote, okay? So, that's the next thing we're doing when we hit 500, okay? Cool. So, this is, I mean, obviously, this is a huge thing. The channel already has got tons of help. And the thing is, if we can consistently be getting this kind of help every month, I'm not saying that I'm expecting 100 gifted memberships every month, but that did happen on Twitch. It just did. I got hundreds of gifted subscriptions every month, so we'll see what happens long term here, okay? But anyway, if I can get this kind of help every month, this is going to help significantly. This is a major step towards getting back to where I was at the level that I was at on Twitch, okay? Just being honest, this last year has been very tough. Why? Because when I left Twitch and I came to YouTube fully, when I upended my business and lifted and dropped it here, immediately I lost a ton of features and support that I had. One of the consistent pieces of support that I had that I lost was subs, and that was a huge amount of support that's been, you know, left behind, and it's hard to make ends meet. This is exactly the reason why this year I've been like, man, sometimes I live week to week, paycheck to paycheck, trying to make tips to pay for my stuff for the week. It's just absolutely true. It's because of this, because I lost this income. So now we have potential to get the income back. This is excellent, okay? Now, I have an update in regards to the reward that everyone's going to get. So the reward for hitting the members goal for this month was supposed to be, I'm going to do a new React project, and you guys are going to vote on what you want to see me react on. So immediately yesterday, after having already reached out, putting some feelers out and trying to contact a few people, I got an answer from one person who is another person who does internet-style documentaries named June the King. He has done documentaries on Wings of Redemption twice, as well as other people on the internet, such as Ray William Johnson, Keemstar, LTG, and many, many others. Like, basically, all these different ones, okay? And so I knew that he had done that, and I reached out to him behind the scenes and said, hey, would it be okay if I did this, if I reacted to your content? And he gave me his blessing. He said, absolutely. Cool. Seems like these people are pretty nice, all right? So all his stuff is now eligible for me to react to, and he has got a wealth of stuff, all right? Now, I did a poll yesterday, and the poll was as follows. Vote on what you want to see me react to next. Option number 1, The original This Is How You Don't Play video of Metal Gear Solid 2. Option number 2, reacting to the John Rambo and Howard media recording from 7 years ago, where essentially they were exposing things about our relationship and stuff that they didn't like, and this is why they didn't want to be my friend anymore, okay? Number 3, well, I should say 3 and 4 were 2 of June the King's videos, one on LTG, and the other a follow-up to Wings of Redemption, because I had already done a react video to the Down the Rabbit Hole on Wings of Redemption, and he did a follow-up video basically covering the last 2 or so years that were not covered in that video, updates on everything, okay? So, the poll is live. By the way, hold on, I want to open my window. The landscapers are here today. They didn't come yesterday. They came today instead. I want to open the window because it's getting stuffy in here. I just hope they don't come by, but they might. Okay. So anyway, the poll went live yesterday. You guys have been voting for about 24 hours on the poll. And to give you guys some update on that, okay, let me click on it here. I want to refresh it and let you know exactly what's going on with that. So here's the results. The June the King Wings of Redemption It Got Worse follow-up video, 7% of the vote. June the King's Low Tier God video, 8% of the vote. John Rambo and Howard Exposed DSP, 54% of the vote. And This Is How You Don't Play Metal Gear Solid 2, 30%. So that's an overwhelming, with almost 2,000 votes, by the way. Over half of the people want to see me do the John Rambo and Howard video. Do you want to know the truth? I'm not surprised. That is something that was put out there 7 years ago, okay? When it went out there, I'll be honest with you, I was shocked. I was blindsided. I actually felt really hurt by that video at the time. And I never reacted to it, ever. Like, I've never formally responded. Every once in a while over the years, someone will ask me a question about it, and I'll, in general, just give a general answer without actually addressing anything specific from the video. But in general, I've never sat down and formally responded to it. Since then, a lot has changed. For example, my entire life has changed since then, since 2015. Take a look at me then and now. Right? The life I lead now versus what I was doing back then. My entire life situation is completely different. Since then, both of them have completely disappeared from the internet. Like, they don't make content for the internet anymore. They've, essentially retired their channels and or content. They live quiet, private lives off of the internet. Okay? So, I just want you guys to understand something. All right? If I do that, it's not going to be, oh, DSP slams John Rambo and Howard. That's not the purpose. I just want everyone to understand this up front. Fine if you vote for it, but understand that's not what it's going to be. It's going to be me rationally listening to everything they have to say and basically doing exactly as I did with my own Down the Rabbit Hole video, reacting to what they're saying about me and letting you know if I feel it's fair or not, and letting you know the full context of the situation, because when you just listen to that video, you have zero context about how things actually went down with our personal relationships. You have to have been watching years of footage to even understand half the shit that they're talking about. Okay? So, I absolutely would like to have an opportunity to do that, but did you guys know, I'm just curious about this, that video is 90 minutes long. You know that, right? So, if you compare that to, say, the Wings of Redemption video, which was about 2 hours long, it took me 5 hours to get through it. So I almost guarantee you, for me to get through that video is going to take like 5+ hours. I know I'm gonna have a lot to say, and it's going to mostly be supplementary information so everyone understands the big picture. And I know for a fact that there will be things that I will talk about in that video, all right, that will not have ever been revealed before. But don't worry, it's not going to be like private shit about them. It's going to be more about me. All right? So anyway, if that's what you guys want, absolutely, that's fine. I mean, first of all, 7 years have passed. You know what I mean? Like, it's so much time that whole point of my life has been done with for so long. And I guess it would be happy to finally put it to rest. You know what I mean? It always felt like it was kind of an unaddressed, open-ended thing that happened. And just like with me doing my reaction to my Down the Rabbit Hole video and reacting to that time in my life and the things that happened there, this definitely is kind of an open-ended thing that I feel like I can address and put to bed, essentially, right? And again, I gotta say this up front because I don't want anyone getting the wrong idea here. This is not going to be a hit piece on John Rambo and Howard at all. This is going to be me listening to everything they have to say, giving supplemental information around it so you explain the context, and then telling you what I think about it. And I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of what they've said there is absolutely positively true. Okay? It's just that I was stupid or ignorant at the time, kind of, how can I say, like almost had like a scrambled brain during that time period, the early days of YouTube, right? When I was doing all these videos constantly and pumping out content for mass consumption. And it wasn't me necessarily having a big picture view of my life. It was just make videos, make videos, make videos, make videos, make videos. And that was like it. That was the focus. And quite admittedly, things such as friendships and relationships were left by the wayside as I focused on make videos, make videos, make videos, make videos. And it wasn't until much later when things got worse for me on the internet, you know, public opinion turning against me and essentially losing a lot of friendships and relationships that I had had for a very long time as a result of my actions, that I realized I made a bunch of mistakes. Okay. But that's the thing. Like, what do they say? Hindsight's 20/20. You don't realize what you're doing wrong until it's kind of too late. And then it's like, well, damn, if I had known back then, it's like, it's too late now, right? You just got to live with your consequences of what you did, right? So that's what I feel. I think the video would be quite meaningful, but it's going to be insanely long. The video, the recording they made is 90 minutes. So can you imagine? It's going to be at least like 4 or 5 hours to get through it. Because I know for a fact they go into detail about situations that people don't even understand. You know, because you listen to it, you're like, well, damn, if you have the context, you'll understand this. But if you don't have context, you have no idea what they're talking about. So anyway, if that's what people want, that's what you'll get. However, I do have an update. In regards to that whole June the King LTG video, I had absolutely, positively no idea the story behind that. Now, you guys might not know this either, but apparently, when June the King made that documentary on LTG years ago, Low Tier God I'm talking about, the internet content creator, infamous guy, apparently this opened a giant can of worms and basically made LTG like go on this giant campaign against this guy to the point where I guess he was doxing him constantly on his streams, and the guy suffered years of online harassment as a result of it. He hit him with copyright strikes to take down the video and stuff. I had no idea, zero idea that was what happened. I thought that it was just like just like everyone else, pump out a documentary like, what are you gonna do? How many people make videos about me? What am I gonna do about it? Well, who cares? Just let them be out there and fuck them, right? But I guess that's not the attitude he had. His attitude was, damn, we got to destroy this guy that did a documentary about me. So, yeah, I don't think I would be tackling that video unless there was full context or if there was more knowledge. By the way, I can tell you right now, and I don't know if I'll ever get a response. In fact, I would probably think I won't. I have tried to contact LTG because I said to him, is there anything on the internet that you feel is accurate about you? Because so many people over the years have come to my stream and talked about you. And much like what I did with Rings of Redemption, where I watched a documentary to try to learn about him, I would like to watch something to try to learn about you and your history. Now, here's the thing, okay? I do not give two shits about his personal life. I'm just curious about the guy as a content creator because people reference him all the time. The memes and shit that people have thrown on my streams, and I don't get it. Now, when I watched the Wings of Redemption documentary, oh my God, now my eyes are open to what everyone's been referencing on my content for years and years. I felt like that was really meaningful. You know what I mean? So I've asked him. I don't know if I'll ever get a response. Or maybe he'll feel there's nothing that's been fair to him on the internet over the years. So basically, unless I get an answer from him, and he's like, oh yeah, there was this one, and this one I felt was pretty accurate or good, I'm probably not going to be doing anything about the guy. All right? So just to let you guys know, that's the deal. It's off the table for now. but regarding the fact that there was such controversy and apparently years of anger and go between June the King and LTG regarding that, there's no way I'm touching that with a 1,000,000-foot pole. I'll stay the fuck away from that shit. Okay? But, like I said, if I get an answer, then I'll let you guys know. If he said, yeah, I think that this is actually quite fair, or at least, again, I don't care about his personal life. I don't want to know about anything of his personal history. All I want to know about is him as a content creator. That's all I care about anyway. You know, that's kind of like with me. If you want to talk about me as a content creator and the shit I've done on stream, great. But when you start bringing stuff from behind the scenes that has nothing to do with me or as a content creator, that's when you've crossed the line. And I feel like it's the same thing here where I guess he feels like people have crossed the line, and that's kind of fucked up. So I just want to know about him and the memes and shit, you know? Okay. So anyway, please continue to... It's funny because people are saying, oh, he's going to dox you again. Dox me again? I'm fully doxed everywhere. But my information has been completely and utterly fully doxed everywhere possible. I don't know how you could possibly dox me anymore. At this point, people probably know how many moles I have on my right ass cheek, you know? So anyway, by the way, 0. I don't think I have any on there. Then again, I haven't checked in a while. I should look. Anyway, yeah, so please keep voting. But it looks like as of now, at least in the initial 24 hours, people really want to see me react to the John Rambo and Howard recording. I say recording because it's not a video. It's just audio. It's going to be the oddest thing because when I react to this thing, there's no video to watch. So essentially, it's just going to be me listening. And maybe what I'll do is I'll put a picture in the corner of them or something. But it's going to be so weird because there's literally nothing to play video-wise. I don't even understand how this existed. It was just audio. It's just so odd. No one can even explain it to me either. So people are like, oh no, it was originally a video. But then somehow the video immediately was pulled. And it's not clear if they pulled it because they realized that it was going to cause so much drama for them and me. Or if if it got copyright stricken. Or if it got taken down for community guidelines. Like no one knows. But apparently people like re-recorded it and immediately uploaded it all over the internet. And that's why we still have archives of it. So, I don't know. It's just such a weird situation. It just is. It was a weird situation when it happened. I was completely blindsided by it. Zebra, it doesn't matter. The audio recording's been re-uploaded like 400 times before. So it doesn't even matter. Here comes another idiot. Okay, he's already blocked. Good. Very good. Okay, so anyway, guys, yeah, please keep voting on what you want to see as the reward for the membership goal being hit. But right now, it looks like that's what it's going to be, and we're going to do it exactly the same way as we just did with my own React project of me reacting to the Down the Rabbit Hole video. We'll set it up as an event. It'll be a whole day, and the whole focus of the day will be this React. But I'll probably also do special stuff, like maybe we'll do my next Feasting with the King during this day, okay? And we'll go from there. We'll figure it out. It's not going to be soon. It's definitely not going to be in May. We just did one. Likely it'll be in like early to mid-June, which makes a lot more sense, I feel. Okay? Boy, this guy doesn't give up. He's like grade A loser. This guy's coming in here with 1 million accounts saying complete nonsense and getting banned repeatedly. What an idiot. Okay, anyway. So continuing on, Give the memberships are alive. They work. Although they're kind of a little weird compared to how that stuff was on Twitch. Okay. Thank you to everyone who supported this channel with gifted memberships over the last 24 hours. We've literally gained 100 members. Okay. And if we hit 500 members, we unlock another emote slot. Okay. And that emote slot will be the Rasta DSP emote. So when people tip 420 and you see that animation, you'll be able to use that emote, okay? If you're a member, that is. So that's what's next, okay? Cool. That's really all I have to say about memberships, but man, that took a long time, huh? So now let's talk about the schedule, and let's talk about projects this weekend, because I need your feedback to figure out what we're doing next, okay? So, what are we doing today? Skyrim Anniversary Edition, continuing with the Dragonborn DLC. I don't know how much more, gameplay there is in the DLC. I think I only have 2 story-based missions left, but I haven't really explored the center of the map. So there may actually be some interesting stuff in the center of the map. I'll have to check that out. Maybe we'll do that today. Maybe we'll just go right to the center of the map and start exploring and see what else is there. I'm going to guesstimate, which is a combination of guess and estimate. I'm going to guesstimate that there will be between 1 to 2 more streams of the Dragonborn DLC before we adjourn it. I don't think it's going to be 20 hours like people say at this point. I think maybe 1 to 2 more streams to finish it up. And then probably we're returning to Skyrim. What I think I'll do at that point is finish the Thieves Guild, maybe do 1 or 2 other missions, and then we'll start the Dawnguard DLC. Okay? Okay. Awesome. So, that's today's main gameplay stream. As you know, Skyrim is interactive. It's fun. It's chill. I love the Skyrim streams because we have such a great time of conversation when I play them, right? Later tonight, 6:45 p.m. Pacific Time, Mirror's Edge concludes. We have 3 chapters left. Yes, they are the most challenging chapters of the game. But I'm feeling confident that we can beat it tonight. If not, if we need another late stream, we can do it. But I think we're gonna have a good time tonight with the conclusion. I've loved redoing this playthrough at this point. Man, it looks so different from the original. It's fun as hell. The art style, the music. It's a really good game. So I'm very excited for that tonight. I hope you'll join me to see how it all ends. Only the second time I'm playing that game. The first time was when it was a new release in 2008. So it's been a long time. And that'll be a good one. Tomorrow, we return to WWE 2K22 and the My Rise mode as I continue through NXT. We're actually about to get an NXT title match. All right. And that title match is going to be exciting. We'll see if I can win it. And once you're done with that, I guess what's probably going to happen is you do some title defenses, and then I think you'll probably have the chance to be shifted to another show, like Raw or SmackDown. So we'll do that, and then we'll continue on with that. Tomorrow night, the late stream is going to be Friday Night Fights, where I play 2 hours of old school Street Fighter. It's always a good time, and I think we're in the final countdown now. I think it's 4 sessions left of this game until we get to the new one that comes out in June. Okay? Okay, Saturday. More Skyrim, and then Saturday night, I can officially announce we are starting The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. I'm going to re-up my Nintendo Switch Online membership, which enables all those retro games on the Switch, and we are going to play Zelda: Link to the Past starting on Saturday night, okay? So that's awesome. Now, Sunday is going to be more WWE on the daytime stream, but now this is where we get into the gray area. Last night, I determined I'm done with Halo Infinite. The game is terrible. They've ruined it. 343 Industries has single-handedly ruined that game. The connections are atrociously bad. There's no content. The game sucks. I don't want to play it anymore. It's such a bad game at this point that I'm done with it. But that means there's a new spot in my night streams. I need something to alternate with Zelda for variety purposes on the late streams. Now, there's been a lot of ideas about things that I can do, okay? I want to talk about some of those today because I got a few new ideas. Overnight, people have been giving me recommendations and comments and the like, okay? So first of all, there's always the option that I could go back and do something under Game Pass. And by the way, I'm going into my Game Pass menu right now that we haven't done yet. For example, I could try out Bassmaster Fishing. We can do One Piece Power Warriors 4. We could try the game The Procession of Cavalry. I could continue with Quake. I could continue with Serious Sam 4. That's just a few suggestions, okay? In addition, there's other games in there that people have said are good, but no one really seemed to want at the time. And I don't know if I would play them or not. But, you know, I'm just saying, Game Pass is always an option, okay? Outside of that, there's been a few other interesting suggestions. One of them that I'm intrigued at is that people have been saying, why not do something from the Uncharted Collection? Many years ago, I got that collection, and I never played any games in it. This is the collection on PlayStation 4 that features Uncharted 1, 2, and 3, running at much better resolution and frame rate than they were originally. Now, the one that I think people would want to see me play the most is Uncharted 2. That's a game that I played when it was new 10 years ago, and I never, ever played it ever again. A lot of people argue Uncharted 2 is the best Uncharted among all of the games ever. And I don't think I would be opposed to playing it again. All right? But I don't know if that's something that people would want. It's just a suggestion that someone made. They were like, hey, what about the Uncharted Collection with Uncharted 2 being the best game in there? And I was like, that's not a bad idea. That's something that I never went back and redid, and maybe some people would be interested in that. Okay? An interesting suggestion that I got is something that I may be interested in doing long term, but I don't think if I would do it now. There's this game called Tunic, and apparently it's a combination of Zelda with Dark Souls. You know what I hate? I seriously fucking hate when people say, oh, it's a combination of something in Dark Souls. You know what I say to that? I don't want a combination of something in Dark Souls. We have Dark Souls, or Bloodborne, or Elden Ring. Like, we have that. I don't need to have that mishmash with another genre. No, really, I don't. If I want that, I'll play the real games. That's why I avoid all the Mortal Shell and all these fucking spin-offs that everyone's like, oh yeah, it's like Dark Souls combined with something else. Well, I don't want Dark Souls combined with something else. I just like it as it is. I don't need it mashed into every other genre and game type for people to claim that they made an original game. When they didn't, they just copied the formula of Dark Souls and smashed it into another genre. Okay? So that being said, I'm interested in Tunic long term, but not now. Why not now? I'm about to play Zelda. I'm literally about to play Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. Is what you guys voted for. So there's absolutely no way that I'm going to be doing Zelda: Link to the Past and Tunic, a game that plays like Zelda: Link to the Past, but is harder. No. Maybe long term later, but not now. Okay? So Tunic, a good suggestion that I'm just not going to be considering now because of the circumstances. All right? So that being said, we could go back to Game Pass, see what else is on there. Another suggestion someone made, Jurassic Park Evolution 2. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm not sold on this one. I played Jurassic Park Evolution 1 years ago. It's a park simulator game where you're trying to work the land on an island, make it habitable, build pens, build power and resources, turn it into a theme park for people to come see dinosaurs in cages, and then keep the dinosaurs contained. Okay? It was interesting the first time I did it because it was something unique and different that I usually don't do. I enjoyed playing Jurassic Park Evolution 1, but admittedly, it was for a very small group of people. It did not catch on that well. People really didn't like it as a mainstream game, which I played at the time. And it took a while to beat because there's actually a lot of islands that you needed to do with different challenges on each island. And it ended up taking a while to get through. And essentially the playthrough was longer than it should have been. And by the end, it really didn't get much support or viewership. People kind of got burnt out on it only a few streams in. And I was stuck playing this lengthy game that I had bought. Okay? Now the difference here is that Jurassic Park Evolution 2 is now on Game Pass. So it's something that I could play. Or is it on... It's for free somewhere. I don't remember if it's on Game Pass or if it's on PS Plus. It's for free somewhere. Okay? So if I played it now, I wouldn't have to spend any money on it. But I am worried that I'll play 1 or 2 streams of it and we'll all get bored of it. And it's like, well, what was the point then? Right? So, that's an option. Okay? So here's the thing. I don't know what I want to do to balance with Zelda, but whatever it is, it's starting Sunday. Today's Thursday. We have 3 days to figure this out. Uncharted 2, I'd be down for that. I've only played it once ever. I barely remember it. It would be cool to play it on a modern console like PS5 with all the improvements and everything. I think that should be a pretty fun playthrough and something different for variety, for sure. I'm not playing any other game like that right now. Or something else off Game Pass that's unique, like Bassmaster or something. I don't know. Or, if you guys have other suggestions, throw them my way. I need suggestions in the next 3 days to figure out what's going to balance with Zelda. All right, I'm pumped for Zelda. I really am. But I definitely want something else to balance with that. And right now, I just don't know what it's going to be. Okay? So let's see. Please give me your suggestions and your ideas. Fair enough? Okay. Outside of all of that, the only other thing that I want to say before we move on to one important news story that I'd like to talk about today. I'm incredibly grateful for the overwhelming support in the last 24 hours with these gifted memberships. Seriously, 100 memberships in 24 hours. Didn't I tell you this was going to happen? I knew it. And thank you guys for that. Thank you for living up to what I thought was going to happen. Seriously, it's pretty awesome that people have supported in this way. I appreciate it. However, I do have to emphasize something, all right? Tips are very important to me in my business, and here's why. Tips are the liquidity of my business. And what I mean by that is that's the cash flow that I get that I can use to spend on things on a daily basis. If I need to buy a new game today, tips pay for it. If I need to buy something for the business, tips pay for it. Bills and stuff behind the scenes, generally tips pay for that. The Nintendo Online that I'm going to get on the Switch, tips are going to pay for that. Okay? Coming up, my day off on Tuesday, grocery shopping, tips. If I have a meal with my wife, tips. You see? The tips are very important. So I understand that people right now are so hyped for the gifted memberships, and I'm very grateful for that. I mean, thank you. But I hope that that doesn't mean that people are going to forego tipping, because that would put me in a bad situation. And in particular, and I don't know why you guys, okay, why are you laughing? Laughing my ass off, laughing out loud. Why are you laughing? I'm just going to stop the fucking stream right now. What are you laughing at? Let's hear what's so hilarious. I'm being honest with you guys. And people want to say, oh, I'm laughing my ass off. What's so fucking funny? I would like an answer. Because if you think that me being honest with you is funny, that's fucked up. What's wrong with you? I'm telling you, if all I get this weekend are memberships, I literally can't afford stuff on Tuesday on my day off, and you're going to laugh? Oh, that's funny. Oh, real funny. When you can't go and do something with your family on your day off, your one day off for the week when you're working full-time 6 days a week. That's funny, right? Oh, it's real funny. How about this? It's not fucking funny. You're a fucking asshole. All right? I don't like talking about this. I don't. And I don't want to talk about it all fucking day. But I don't like people laughing. It's not funny at all. You're a piece of shit if you think that someone who has to live day to day on tips and shit is funny. Oh, so hilarious that this guy has stuff financially tight. Ha 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 ha. No, it's not fucking funny. Now shut up. Jesus fucking Christ. These people are assholes, man. Really? I mean, can you be any more much of a dick to someone on the fucking internet that you don't even personally fucking know? Oh, hilarious. Okay. Now, let's continue logically and with a cool head. All right? If you guys want to support this stream, by all means, the gifted memberships are great, and please go ahead and do so. That will help me in the long term. Gifted memberships work exactly the same as any other membership or a super chat or a super sticker. It takes a month to a month and a half for me to see any benefit from it. So all this cool gifted memberships right now will help me next month. But that doesn't mean I don't have to pay anything now. Understand? So please continue, especially if you were someone who regularly did tip. Please continue to tip. That helps a ton. The tips are my life's blood day to day. I can't have tips completely drying up now in the next several weeks because we have gifted memberships. That would literally be disaster for me. I would not be able to pay anything. That would be really, really, really bad. And in particular, I hate to say it, of course YouTube has to do this now, right? You might say, oh, Phil, you should be super happy that gifted memberships are live. I am. But did you guys know? Well, you probably didn't know this. So I get paid on the 21st of every month by YouTube, in general. However, if the 21st ever falls on a weekend for me, okay, here's what happens. YouTube's payment gets delayed by like several days for no good reason. It doesn't make any sense that if I was going to get paid this Monday, I would get the payment on Monday. But if they start to process the payment on Saturday, I might not get paid till Wednesday or Thursday. Just think about that. You're paying me earlier, but I receive payment later. How the fuck does that work? The answer is it doesn't. It's stupid, and something is weird about the way that YouTube processes their payments. But this has happened a couple times in the last year where the payment is coming on the weekend and I don't get it till much later in the week. Now, here's the problem with that. I need the money to pay bills, and I need the money to do regular day-to-day shit, okay? So right now, even though I'm supposed to get paid over this weekend, I'm probably not going to get $1 of that until Wednesday or Thursday this coming week. What day of this week is my day off? Tuesday. So if I don't have tips to pay for stuff on Tuesday, I literally can't do things on Tuesday, like grocery shopping, or like I said, having a meal with my wife for the one time a week where we don't cook at home and we can actually go out to do something. You know what I'm saying? So this kind of sucks because the timing of the gifted memberships has to be the 1 month and the 1 week when I'm getting paid that month where it's going to be delayed. Okay? So, please, if you support the channel, tip me. All right? That's going to be a really great way to help me over this weekend. And some of you already have been, but I'll give you a perfect example. Right now, this pre-stream has been going for 50 minutes. I received 1 tip. But I received like 5 or 6 gifted memberships. Do you see? This is always happens. Oh, people are so excited for the new way to support, and I'm appreciative of that. Thank you. That is going to help in the long term. But sadly, this is just a bad time for it to all be gifted memberships and have no tips. I won't be able to afford anything come Tuesday, okay? So I'm just trying to emphasize this and try to get it ahead of time. I'm trying to get ahead of the problem rather than it's Sunday or Monday and now I realize I have no money, okay? So thank you in advance to anyone who contributes in any way. Tips would be great over the weekend to help out. If you want to do a gifted membership, thanks. I'm certainly not going to say no, and it will help the channel's growth. Like I said, if we hit 500 members, a new emote slot unlocks, and we're going to do the Ross to Fill emote. But, got to be careful, because I can't now have that be a trade-off, and I get no tips, and now I can't pay for anything for the next month. Okay? So thank you in advance for understanding, and thanks for stop laughing in the chat like assholes, because that really irks me when I'm trying to be real with you guys. I don't want to talk about this shit. I don't. I want to play fucking games and chill with you guys. I got a cool game news story I want to get to, but I have to do this because I run a business. Don't laugh at it. It ain't fucking funny. It's just not. It's not funny at all. People are just being dicks about it. Oh, ha ha ha, for us to talk about this. Ha ha ha. Yeah, fuck you. You fucking stupid kid. Stop acting like a little immature shit. It just really gets me. Okay. And now we're done talking about it, and we don't have to talk about it again, you see? Because I got it out of the way. All right. So, ladies and gents, we do have an important news story to cover today. All right. The important news story is really positive news. For a change. It's not a negative story. I have something good to talk about. It was revealed this morning by, Santa Monica Studios, the Sony studio that is making God of War Ragnarok. They revealed the lineup of accessibility features that they have included in their upcoming release, God of War Ragnarok. Now, this is good for 2 completely unrelated reasons, all right? First of all, if they're talking about all the accessibility features, that means that the game's almost done. They wouldn't be talking about this if the game was, like, going to get delayed or whatever. This is actually a really, really good sign, because some people have been nervous. Oh, God, God of War Ragnarok's now going to get delayed, too, and now there's no games this year. No, they totally wouldn't be talking about this if the game wasn't on schedule to be released this year, you see? So this is good news for all of us. Even if we don't care about accessibility features, this is still good news, okay? Now, if you think that accessibility features are something important to you, my God, this is important news. They are implementing essentially almost every single accessibility feature that was present in The Last of Us Part 2. Now, for those who don't know, The Last of Us Part 2 had groundbreaking accessibility. We're talking for those who have, eyesight issues, for those who have hearing issues, for those who have motor skills issues with, just being able to control your hands and control the controller. Like, there's so many cool accessibility features in that game. It's literally the most accessible AAA game ever made in history. And that is something they absolutely should be applauded, respected, rewarded, and they should be judged as the industry standard moving forward, as a company that did the right things, and everyone else should follow suit. And I hate to say it, that sadly, in the last 2 years, very few game studios have followed suit. Every time that they claim that they put accessibility features into the game, it's half-hearted, or it only works for one small portion of the game. There's been games that have narration of all the menus, but then when you go to play the game, nothing. So what's the fucking point of having narration on your menus so someone who basically is blind can go through a menu and select all the settings they want, then they go to play the game and it's unplayable? Why'd you narrate the menu? That's stupid. And it really is disheartening that so many cannot play video games like the rest of us. That's bullshit. I've always been a champion for accessibility. That I feel that video games, especially games that are non-competitive, we're not talking, make a competitive first-person shooter or a competitive fighting game accessible for competition for everyone, because then you could argue, when it's made too easy, then there's an unfair advantage in competition. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about, in general, video games for all. Single-player experiences, or in even some cases, co-op gaming experiences with a narrative behind it. There absolutely, positively should be accessibility with that, okay? And it actually irks me and pisses me off that these game companies can put millions upon millions of dollars to their game budgets, but accessibility is a fucking afterthought. Why? Accessibility is very important to every single entertainment medium, right? Every movie, every television show has full subtitles. Many of them have full audio descriptiveness for the blind. Why don't we have this for games, right? And you might argue, well, it's because it's too time consuming, it's too expensive, yada, yada, yada. All right, fair enough. I'm not expecting some indie game studio to have full accessibility to all their games. But for a AAA game studio, the game's been in development for how many years? The budget's how big? How many people are working on this game and you didn't even think about accessibility? Like, that's just like, quite frankly, it's neglect. It's neglecting your work of art, because a game is a work of art. And if you want that work of art to be experienced by the maximum amount of people, you should make it accessible to the maximum amount of people. Not, oh, it's a work of art for a certain group of people. No, it should be for everyone. And I'm happy to hear that Santa Monica Studios took this so seriously that they put in most of the accessibility features that are present in The Last of Us 2. I was so happy this morning. Super Blind Man posted up a tweet. He's like, you guys have no idea. He's like, I wasn't involved in the project, but this is a rarity where I can play a AAA game and enjoy it, and it looks like I will be able to play God of War Ragnarok when I couldn't previously play so many AAA games, and he's stoked. And I'm happy for him and anyone who gets to play this game. This is something that needs to be a major concern and focus for game devs moving forward. So I have to wholeheartedly applaud Santa Monica Studios and Sony in general for making this a major focus of the game and making it accessible to so many. This is going to be something excellent for everyone. I actually can't wait to hear oh, really? Super Blind Man's on the stream. He says, I actually wasn't involved directly, but I've already received confirmation. The blind accessibility features were inspired by my work on Last of Us 2. Wow. Do you see? This is excellent, man. And this is the start of something good. This is absolutely positively the start of something really good. We got to keep it rolling. Got to keep that momentum going, keep that positivity going with other games. I want to hear that all the major AAA games are getting this level of accessibility. Because you know what it is? It's social responsibility in a way. That you're not excluding a group of people, right? It's not their fault that they don't have the ability to experience these games like others. Why should they be punished? Why can't they only enjoy 10% of games? That's ridiculous. Let them enjoy most of them, especially the ones with giant budgets and these giant dev teams. There's no excuse that they can't have these features. So I'm very happy about this. I'm really, really happy. And Super Blind Man, I'd like to personally say, first of all, congratulations, right? Because this is obviously a big accomplishment. And also, it's going to be really awesome. I know, Super Blind Man just laughed at 10%. It's probably like 2%. It's probably so ridiculously small. Or you know what it is? Just like I said, oh, our game has accessibility. Boot the menu. Okay, I got past the title screen and now I can't play it. Right? Jesus Christ. I feel like it's going to get better, but it's just going to be such a slow thing. But at least, you know what they say? Something's better than nothing, right? Some progress is better than zero. And we now have 2 major AAA games that look like they'll have this. Maybe then in the next year we'll have another and another. If we get 1 a year, that would be a giant accomplishment, right? Absolutely. All right. Much respect to Super Blind Man and everyone, because there's other people out there championing this every day. Much respect to those people who are trying to do the right thing. It's only fair, and it just makes logical freaking sense, and it's time for us to make it an issue. I've always been a champion for accessibility in games, and I will continue to be so. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, let's do some shout-outs, and then after that, we have time for some Q&A or something, we'll do it, all right? Okay. So first of all, let's go to the YouTube side of things. I've already shouted out a lot of these, but just for full coverage, let's refresh the page, and let's see here. So, Gavin White became a member. Now, I don't know if that's a new membership or not, but thank you, Gavin. And then Europe Gaming gifted a membership to Raccoon Man. 672 gifted a membership to Stinkin' Burrows. 672 gifted another membership to Chips Ahoy at the Marble Mouth. B. Stevens gifted a membership to Rabbit Couch. Ponage 101 re-upped his membership. And Kane Gallagher re-upped his membership for 2 months. Says, do you like older God of Wars or the new ones? I liked the older God of Wars. They were pretty innovative when they came out, you know, back in the day, PS2 era. I actually remember playing, was it God of War 1 or 2? I think it was 1. I actually had it on PS2, and at that point, I bought a high-end Sony computer monitor, which looked way better than any television at the time. This is before the era of every single TV was a flat screen. And I actually was playing God of War on my monitor, and it looked absolutely gorgeous at the time. I was playing that, and I was playing Tekken 5. I was playing a Tekken game, too. I think it was Tekken 5. And I just remember playing both these games. The colors, oh, God. It was so awesome on this particular monitor. And I really liked God of War 1. I don't remember if I ever beat it, but I remember really enjoying the game at the time. And they were, I mean, the games were innovative at the time, but let's be honest here, now they're dated. Like, really, how many people would go back and want to replay the original games when we have more modernized games with way more content and less repetition, right? But at the time, they were like, whoa, look what you can do with games, right? It was something, it felt something fresh and different. Okay. So, thank you, Kane, for that. So we are at 490 members. I just checked. We did go up another. We're now at 490 members, okay? Now, tips-wise, as I said, I've only received 2 tips, it looks like. First tip here from Snow Carl. $1.50 tip. He says, if you were able to visit any 2 countries in Africa, all expenses paid, which would you choose? Congrats on the gifted members. Well deserved. Africa, I have no idea. I would have to do research. I don't know anything about, you know, Africa tourism or anything like that. You're definitely asking the wrong person on that one. Especially as you know, I'm probably one of the worst people for world geography ever. Just go watch either of my bully playthroughs, and you'll see how stupid I am. So I'm definitely not going to comment on that. I'd probably end up naming something that's like on Pluto. Because I'm a dunce. Okay? And then his second tip, he had another one. And he says, you ever think about what happened to the old guys from Twitch? Jim Bob, Kate, PW Dubs, Third Eye. Your YouTube community is amazing, but shame we lost so many great members. Some of them are still around today under different names, but they don't want anyone to know it. I'm not going to blow up their spot, but I already know who they are. Others did come up with other names, ended up getting banned, and they're not here anymore. We know what happened to PW Dubs. We all saw it last year. He got banned for being an idiot and trying to then frame me for shit I didn't do. It was ridiculous. Basically, he got wrapped up in detractor shit, which is really dumb. But it is what it is. It's, you know, it's water under the bridge. It's in the past. I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to sit here and dwell on it. Yeah, is it sad to see people who used to be absolute regulars on all my content basically go away? Yes, it is. But that's life. This is constantly what I've seen over the years. Remember, I've been doing this for 14 years. There's some people who used to be giant parts of the content. They used to be my moderators, or they used to submit art, or they used to be a major part of the discussion, you know, and now they're gone. And it's fine, you know, that's part of life. The same thing with me. At one point, I was a super fan of the Angry Video Game Nerd and the Nostalgia Critic. And then at one point, my life changed completely, and I cut it off, and I just stopped watching their stuff entirely, you know. And that's just life, man. That's how it works. What's funny is when people come back, they're like, dude, wow, I used to watch you back in the day, and now I came back, and I had no idea you're still making content. This is kind of cool. And they jump back in, right? It's pretty neat. But that's life. That's how life works. And all I can say is I wish the people the best. I just hope they don't go off the deep end. Because some people do. They do. They freaking get wrapped up in some of the toxic shit. And the next thing you know, you end up with a bunch of, you know, you're going, I would say go down the rabbit hole, but you know what? After watching the down the rabbit hole videos, I think they're not that bad. I think that really it's the major conspiracy theory, you know, high level detractor nonsense. That's the shit. Right? That's the crazy shit. That's just over the top. Nuts. And that's the stuff I hope people don't fall down. You know, you want to watch a few documentaries about someone on the internet or whatever, fine. But the second you start including yourself in a group that is dedicated to hate and create negative conspiracy against someone, that's just, you're out of control. You need help. Okay. Spawn Killer tipped me $1.50. Says, I was watching your moving vlogs when you moved to Washington. I can't believe you've been in Washington 8 years. Yeah, summer of 2014. And here we are coming up on summer of 2022. 8 years, man. Like I said, this is what a lot of people don't realize, especially the longtime viewers. I've been here in Washington making solo content, meaning me just making videos myself, way longer than anything I did back in Connecticut. I started in 2008 in Connecticut, and I only did it till 2014. That was less than a 6-year period. I've been making content here in Washington for 8 years. So the stuff I do today, the more modernized stuff, is the majority of my body of work, while the stuff back then is actually the minority of my body of work. And yeah. Okay, shout out to Ricky. Ricky just tipped me $20. Thank you so much, Ricky. What a generous tip. And he says, hope this helps with your day off. Indeed it will. Thank you very much, Ricky, for that. Let's get you that up on the leaderboard. Biggest tip of the day. What happened? What the hell? That is not Ricky. That is an abomination. There we go. By the way, guys, I mean, my personal take is I'm really enjoying every day changing the color of the leaderboards. I think that it's kind of neat that every day we have a different looking leaderboard for you guys. I've been having a lot of fun with that, and I hope you guys have too. I the different colored text or whatever. I think it makes the streams look more refreshed and interesting. That's my take. I don't know about you guys as viewers, but as the creator, I like having a different adjusted setup for each stream. It's kind of neat, right? Oh, is that the fake guts? See, I don't know who to believe or what to believe. So here's what happened. Yesterday, on the first stream, a ton of people got gifted memberships. A ton. Okay? One of them was supposedly Guts the Black Swordsman, a regular of the streams. Then last night, I'm streaming, and Guts the Black Swordsman's here, but he doesn't have a membership. And I said, Guts, what happened? And he's like, what are you talking about? I was like, how'd you lose your membership? And he goes, I didn't lose my membership. What are you talking about? I was like, wait a minute. So, are you telling me that there's like a clone of you? And he's like, yeah, must have been. It must have been. See, a clone. Now this Guts is saying he's the real one. Now, who do you believe? And this, I'll be honest with you, this is a major problem with YouTube. On YouTube, and I explained this the other day, on YouTube, your YouTube channel is identified by a weird combination of letters and numbers and symbols. It's not actually identified by anything in your name. So you could literally have 20 people who has their name is Guts the Black Swordsman, and you have no way to discern between them at all. At all. You have no idea who's the real one. So, let me put it this way. Until someone does something wrong on stream, I'm not going to hold them accountable. So, if we have two Guts the Black Swordsmans in here, and they're both abiding by the stream rules, I'm not going to punish one or the other. But the moment that we have them start to argue or do stuff that's out of line, then we're going to take care of it, all right? So the thing is, I don't even know who's who. And there's not much that can be done. Now, YouTube has this unique feature that they just added that doesn't work. So right now, I'll give you an example. If I go to someone's name, like 672, I go on his name, and there's a little menu. You click on these 3 dots, and it says, oh, go to that person's channel. This is brand new. They just added this to the YouTube streams. Moderators are supposed to be able to go to a channel to see if it's really the person or an impersonator. You click on it, and it says, oh, something went wrong. And it shows a purple monkey wearing a red hat with a hammer in his hand, looking like this. Oh, thanks for that very useful purple monkey something went wrong feature, YouTube. So here's a perfect example. YouTube rolled something out that they thought that would be useful. It doesn't even work. Now, do they know it doesn't work? I don't know. Have they gotten any feedback? Are they being notified that this feature doesn't work? Because if it worked right now, what you could do, let's say there were 2 Guts in the stream. I could click on each one, and whoever has the older channel, that's the real person, right? But I can't do that because the feature doesn't work. Oh, man. Anyway, hopefully they'll fucking fix it. So anyway, there's 2 Guts. I don't know which is the real one. There's not much I can do about that, but I'm not going to punish anyone unless they break the rules. Okay? Okay. Really? 672 says it does work when he moderates on Jordy's channel. It's not working for me. And I'm on the full desktop version right now of the site, and it doesn't work. Oh, you know what? This is fascinating. Okay, hold on. I have a hypothetical to test. I have a hypothetical to test then. Then let me do this instead. What the fuck? It's not even there. What? Hold on a second. YouTube is something else. So what I'm doing is I'm going to my dashboard, and instead of having a popped out chat, which is what typically I use, I pop out the chat as its own window and I form it on my laptop screen. I'm going to say, if I'm just in the regular chat, yeah, it's not even there. Oh my God. So when the chat is on my dashboard on YouTube, the option doesn't exist. The option isn't there. But then when I pop out the chat as its own separate window, and I drag it over here and I resize it, and now I click on someone's name, the option go to channel is there, but it doesn't work. So here's what happened. YouTube coded it, didn't enable it yet, but they accidentally have it showing in a menu, which they didn't intend. And now anyone trying to use it, it won't work. But it'll only show up in the menu if you pop out the chat, not in the chat that's embedded in the site itself. This is a typical example of YouTube coding. It's sloppy. Sloppy coding. Why would it show on one page and not the other? How would they not have the foresight to think, oh, that's right, there's different versions of the chat, and in this one we want to make sure it doesn't show up because it's not ready yet. Sloppy. Okay. Shout out to Robbie, who became a channel member. Thank you, Robbie. And C-Box has done the first super chat of the day. He says, hi, DSP. I'm really looking forward to Link to the Past playthrough. Thank you for doing what you do. You are welcome. And thank you to C-Box for the very first super chat of the day. Appreciate that. I believe we have actual brother tipped me $4.20. He says, I'm loving your content, Phil. You know, I wish Dying Light 2 wasn't still broken. I'm stuck on a mission today. It glitched out and it won't let me proceed. I'm shaking my head. I hate to say it, but sandbox games always seem to be the games that have that highest potential for that kind of a glitch to happen. And sadly, yeah, I'm sure many a person has had their playthrough halted by a game-breaking glitch in a sandbox game. I mean, I don't want to start talking about the glitches that I experienced in Dying Light 1. And you know what's funny? I should say this. You might have noticed, guys, that we're talking about starting a new playthrough this weekend, right? We're like, oh, what is Phil going to balance with Link to the Past? If you haven't noticed, I haven't mentioned it, and you haven't mentioned it either. No one has brought up Dying Light 2. Since I started playing it in February, I got, what, 13, 15 hours in? No one cares about this game. The game is so dead. The only person who wants it is Jad Effects. He's literally, I'm not kidding, out of the thousands of fans and viewers that I have, we have one person who wants to see me continue the game. One single person. And that's because I heard he invested in the company. He invested in the game developer, and now he's losing all his money. And he feels very sad. He wants the game to have more notoriety. Okay, maybe that's not why. He invested in the zombie coin cryptocurrency. And since no one's playing Dying Light 2, zombie coin has plummeted. Okay. Angry Kappa says, Dying Light 2 is butt cheeks. Such a disappointment because the first one was so good. To me, the problem is it's the same game. It really feels like you're playing Dying Light 1 again with some better graphics. It doesn't feel like they did anything different. And that's not good. You want innovation. You want the game to feel like something special or different. And it doesn't feel that way. It feels like the same parkour and everything. And there, you know, there's bugs, there's issues. Remember, I was trying to kill the unique zombie to get upgrade points, and the fucking zombie sucked into the core of the earth, and he never came back? Just like, oh my god. That's pretty funny. Alright. Alright, so guys, here's the deal. I think I've updated the leaderboards appropriately. Alright. And we have a little bit of time for Q&A, not much. Like 10 minutes. If you guys have some questions you want to ask, you want to toss my way and tag me. And we can talk a little bit extra before we start up with Skyrim today. Andy Young says, yeah, you could see the first bad signs when they delayed the game so much. Angry Kappa says, not just the same game, they updated the graphics and just added a shitty crafting mechanic that every game has to add. Yeah, it's true. The crafting mechanic is stupid, in my opinion. Like, you're right. Every game has it. It really adds nothing. It's not like it was a new game mechanic you'd never seen before. It was just, oh, here's a crafting that was in other games and toss it in and act like it's a new aspect when really it's not. I have to agree there. If you want to talk to me, please tag me, by the way. Do I own a katana? I have 17 katanas. I have a whole room in my house dedicated just to katanas. I don't know if you knew that. Would I go back to Dying Light 2 if they put out DLC? Dude, I didn't even beat the main game. Why would I play DLC? course not. Is Hollow Knight 2 a game I would consider when it comes out? Yeah. You want to know why? Because it'll be new at the time. So many people have said, play Hollow Knight 1, play Hollow Knight 1. If Hollow Knight 2 comes out, I'll play it. Because it just makes sense to play it as a new release. There'll be hype behind it. Likely it'll get more traction, more views. Yes, I would play it. Andy Young says, just like that crane mission was the dumbest shit ever. The crane mission? I remember the windmill mission. The windmill mission wouldn't work. I don't know about the crane mission. An anonymous tipper tipped me $1.50, says, since you moved back to YouTube from Twitch, I noticed some of your subscribers, like black manged C-type. You mean black man C-type? I don't think it was manged. Big Papa Phil, a couple others, people also really weird. I have no idea what you're talking about. Big Papa Phil's here. No, I think what you're saying is some people didn't come over or didn't fully move over. And yeah, you're right. It's sad because you're right. There were several people who were regulars on Twitch. They just didn't want to come over here and deal with YouTube. And I miss them. And it's sad that you lose regulars. It is. But that's sadly life. And, you know, I got to do what's best for me in the business. I tried staying on Twitch for a whole month. It didn't work. It just didn't work. It's Black Mage C-type, by the way. Now I'm thinking it's not Black Man, Black Mange. It's Black Mage C-type. Okay. Man on Wheels, yes, Hollow Knight is a consideration, but it's not something that I'm getting an abundance of people asking for. It's just not. Even when it goes on polls, it never wins. So what I think it is we have a small group of people who are vocal because they really like the game. And yeah, it would be great if that small group of people really like the Hollow Knight playthrough. But again, is that enough to warrant me doing a playthrough of this game? I don't know. You know? I'm skeptical. Admittedly, it's a Metroidvania combined with Dark Souls. I am skeptical that it's going to get traction and people are going to support it, you know? No, I'm not interested in astronomy at all, Chris Bot. Nope. 672 says, if you could have a feature film or show made from any game or you're choosing, what would you pick? Splatoon. Splatoon. Just cover everything with ink. Sounds good. Jonathan Rojas says, was the last retrospective July 2020? If so, do you know when it'll become a members goal again? I don't remember at all when the last retrospective was. What I can tell you is this. We were doing these retrospectives, and at first they were cool because I'd never done anything like that before. But after doing like 3 or 4 of them, we were really struggling to find stuff that people found interesting to react to and or to do a retrospective on. Remember, the retrospectives were reliant on you guys suggesting things. At first, it was an abundance of stuff people wanted to see. But then after a while, it was like, well, Phil did this, he did this notable thing, he did this notable thing. And it gets down to the point where you're like, well, what haven't we done? And what ended up happening was people kept suggesting shit we'd already done. I'm like, we already did that like last year or 2 years ago. So I think what happened was people just got burnt out on it. They would rather see a viewer's choice playthrough or a special style marathon rather than a retrospective event. I would be totally cool with having a retrospective event be a goal again. But people at this point are barely motivated to become members on YouTube as it is. We couldn't even get people to do it for like the current goals that are juicy things people want. So, I mean, I'm not opposed to bringing it back, especially now we have gifted memberships. Maybe things would be different. I don't know. We'll have to see how things go. Okay. Expand Dong the Second says, I used to be here the whole time on Twitch, but YouTube streams generally don't appeal to me, but maybe the crown will get me to stay longer. Little Witch in the Woods is like Stardew Valley. Oh, I've never heard of it. Do I like jam or jelly? I like both. I don't eat it frequently, but I like both. You know what I like? Preserves. That's the shit that has the real chunks of fruit in it. Oh, that's good. That's the good stuff. Like strawberry preserves, apricot preserves. Oh, that's delicious. Am I going to use controller or Hori gamepad for the new Street Fighter? I'm going to be using my joysticks. And like I said, I'm not sure which version of the game I'm going to get. Maybe I'll get both. Maybe I'll get it for both PlayStation and Xbox, and that way I like best of both worlds. Yeah, but we'll see. But I'm using my joystick for that for sure. Would I ever play Switch Sports? No, there's no point. Switch Sports is a party game. It's meant to be played with a group of friends or whatever. It's not a game for a solo content creator like me. It's not a game for someone who's playing games online. It's meant for people who are playing with a bunch of friends in person. That's not the content I do. It's a waste of time and money. I'd play it once and see everything and say, what am I going to do again? And never play it again. Man on Wheels, I'm getting Sonic Origins, and we're playing the games. Yes, that's happening. We're doing that next month. No, you cannot tip with a gift card. Now, how hilarious is this? For a year and a half, people were like, can I tip with cryptocurrency? And I said no. What just happened in the last week and a half? Crypto tanked. It's gone. It's dead. It's worth nothing. Can you imagine if you guys had tipped the shit out of me with cryptocurrency and I had it sitting there and it's now worth nothing? Do you see why I don't take cryptocurrency? Now you understand, I think. Shadow of Twilight, the condo in Connecticut, is gone for years. It was foreclosed on. It's been gone for a million years. Like, it's old news. It's ancient history. GoldenEye, typically when Kat and I watch gameplay videos on YouTube, it's basically games that we're interested in or that we've already played. Typically. Usually we would not watch a playthrough of a game we haven't played, unless it's a game like, for example, one that we watched was Little Nightmares 2. I had zero interest in playing it. She wasn't going to play it, and we watched it, and we were like, wow, glad we didn't play it. Because, man, it was boring. By the end, it was like, ugh, glad I didn't play this shit. But usually it's a game we've already played, and what we want to do is see a perspective of someone else play that game. It was really cool when playing Elden Ring and then seeing 2-3 other people play it and seeing different ways that they tackled it. No, you're not getting any vlogs of my personal shit ever. It's just not happening, Rusty Edwards, so stop asking. Christian, I don't know anything about Road 96, a game where you hitchhike to the border. It doesn't sound too interesting. Am I playing Arkham Asylum again? Maybe someday. But I don't think we've had any kind of an abundance of people requesting it. So not right now. But maybe someday I would play it again. Alright, guys. I think it is time to take a short break. I'm just going to use the restroom quick. Just, very quick break. And then we're going to jump right into Skyrim. Like I said, Dragonborn DLC. I don't know how much we have left in it. I know we have at least two storylines left. But I haven't really explored the center of the map yet. And I don't know if I missed anything significant. For those of you who are big fans of Skyrim, if you know anything significant I may have missed out on in this DLC, I would really appreciate if you could tell me. So that way we're not missing anything important. Because it seems like we're coming to the end. Either today or one more stream. I think we're going to wrap up this playthrough. And I obviously don't want to miss anything. Okay? Thanos tipped $4.20. He says, you have to fight in the creator clash. Who would you box? I don't even know what you're talking about. An anonymous tipper to the $1.50 says, I was on YouTube and my recommendations, someone says your condo in Connecticut sold in February. Did you know? Well, first of all, it's not my condo in Connecticut. It's been foreclosed on and has not been in my name for a long time. If it sold, great. That means that someone else owns it now. Good. That's ancient history at this point. I'm glad that it's over with, And again, I must emphasize, I have lived here in Washington in this home for 8 years. The vast majority of my content that I've ever put out on the internet was made right here. Okay? Yes, from the years of 2009 to 2014, 5-year period, I was in that condo in Connecticut. That's ancient history at this point, I don't know how this is news or why anyone would care. What does that have to do with me and my life and the content I put out now? Nothing. What it is people think that by stirring up stuff behind the scenes like that's like important or drama content. It has nothing to do with anything. There's zero pertinence knowing that. Like, Phil's condo, which was foreclosed on years ago, was resold. And guess what? The BMW that I was leasing years ago and turned in 2017 probably went to a new owner by now. And there's nothing there. There's literally nothing of substance. People grasping at straws to have, something to talk about. They're pretty boring people, by the way. Okay. Let us now take a break, like I said, and I'll be back shortly with the continuation of Skyrim, Dragonborn DLC, and hopefully we'll figure out all the meaningful stuff so I don't miss anything, all right? Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Great pre-stream.